All right, how you doing there? This is your man, Sir-Earl, coming at you. Today is Saturday, June 13th. The 6th month of the year. This year is flying past once again, like all the rest of them. Can't believe it's June already. The looting and the rioting has kind of calmed down in Chicago. It had spread out to the suburbs. It was ridiculous. They had shut everything down after being shut down for 3 months from the pandemic, the spread of coronavirus. So things are starting to get back to normal. Things are starting to reopen. Some things are, some things are not. So, can't complain. We never really shut down. Don't tell anybody. But we never really shut down, and so it didn't really affect us as bad. We do have another location that's about to open, which is an open gym. It's a lot bigger than this one, and we'll have two. We'll have this one as a private one, that one as an open, and we were restricted from opening up the second location because businesses were not allowed to open. So that did affect us in that way. Fortunately, we had just signed a lease, so we had got some free months. So it didn't really affect us too bad, but it was enough. I really would have liked to have that one open by now. My podcast today is one of the things that I'd like to focus on, which I've noticed, is that the generations before us, our generation, the generation that came after us, people live with a huge sense of mediocrity. They're satisfied. The generation before us taught us, go to school, get a job, get married, have 2.5 kids, big house, white picket fence, and that's your happiness. So I find it ironic that even the people that gave you that suggestion wind up not being happy within their lives. Why? Because businesses started firing people, laying people off, cutting back. Healthcare, which used to be free at one time, now it's just through the roof. I mean, it's like companies used to really take care of you. In that generation, say my mom's generation, companies really took care of you. So the idea was to, get a job, let a company take care of you. If you dreamed of something better or something different, like owning your own business from getting a job, you are all but called crazy in any ethnic group, really, really in the black community. It just was unheard of because the teaching was go to school, get an education, don't take risks, get married, save your money. When we look at the generation now, we look at life at today, and those things, at least for me, those things just don't exist. What if you don't like school? What if you want to be your own boss? What if you don't mind going through the ups and downs? What if you want to achieve something more than what they allow you to do? I found that, now don't get me wrong, working, school, military, everyone has their purpose. I found that I just did not like working for people. I like to chart my own path, have my own say-so in my future. If I was going to have my life dictated to me, I want to be the one doing the dictating. So with that, I have found, my nieces and nephews, my son, and a lot more people, they definitely look at it and say, if he could do it, we can do it. And so we look at this generation and we go, wow, these new millenniums, to me, they're lazy, they're soft, they're all the laws that we have passed over the generations of them coming up, no praying in school, participation trophies, catering to you at jobs, having you really believe that education or a school, not self-education, but general education, is the way to go. So, of course, they think life should be handed to them on a pedestal because we taught them that as people, not me personally, but we as parents in that 40, 50 age range, we taught them that because, that was taught to us by our parents. So my thing is, it has so much to do with why, I find it really, really intriguing why people don't reach for greatness or reach to accomplish something more than what the standardized quota is. If you say that, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire, folks start throwing all kinds of, can't get a eye through the camel of a needle or some shit like that. They start to throw all these quotes at you of why you should not want money, when to me, abundance was something that was created by a higher source of God. It's a reason. I mean, they could print up trillions of dollars in money if they want to, but we're not supposed to dream of living a life that we don't have to worry about working 40 years to retire to get half of what you were making, called a pension or retirement, and Social Security, which is on the borderline of bankruptcy, and the government is definitely trying to get rid of that. So you work your whole life with a vision of a great retirement, and those things don't happen anymore. Maybe they used to happen 50, 60 years ago, where people would retire and they'd get free medical and they'd have this money coming in and they'd live a good life. That type of things do not exist anymore. And to me, why can't I work? Why can't I invest in me? Why can't I save my money and retire that way in my life where I have made that possible? Or anyone else that dreams to be their own boss and leave the future in their own hands. Why are we being told and looked down upon by generations before us that we shouldn't even be thinking about that? I think that that's idiotic. I really do. I hear from my mom all the time. People can go on Facebook and say, I got a job, and you'll get 1,000 congratulations, but you can go on there and say, I started a business, and you may get one. You know what I mean? Like if you start a business, something's wrong with you. But if you go to school, run up debt, student loan debt is the highest debt that we have. You go to school, you spend $200,000 to get a $40,000 a year job, and when you get done paying the student loan back with interest, what was a $200,000 loan is now a $350,000 loan with the interest on it. So you never really get to pay it back. The numbers on that, if I got $350,000 or $350,000, I'm not going to spend it to make $40,000. The only place that spending a lot of money to get a job that pays less is attractive or applicable is politics. If you ever noticed, they spend multi-millions of dollars to get a $200,000 a year job. And I really don't think that they do that for the salary. I think they do that for the power and the connections, because they go in broke and they come out multi-millionaires. So it's the connections that they make of why they do that. But in school, you spend that to come out to get a job where you can barely pay back the student loan, let alone live a life where you can pay your mortgage or, pay a car note or anything like that. And people just, I'm not here to tell anyone what to do with their life. People have to make their own decisions. I just say, think about what you're doing. Do your numbers. For whatever reason, as black people, we don't like dealing with finances. We'd rather give it to somebody else and say, hey, take care of this for me. And that's why so many athletes are bankrupt within 3 to 5 years after they retire. They know how to play basketball, they know how to play baseball, they know how to play football, but they have no idea about handling their money. And by the time they're just, if you turn on the switch, obviously your electric bill is paid, not. These guys feel as long as I can buy me another gold chain or the car that I want, I have money. Usually they don't find out until after their career is over that their accountant or power of attorney or financial advisor has been going out taking their money and taking risk with it, and they lost it, and now they're broke, and there's not really nothing you can do about it. You go to court, you sue, it's not going to make a difference. You can't, they say you can't get blood from a turnip. If I don't have it, I don't have it. And I just find it that if I'm going to take a risk with my life, I'm going to be the one that's in control. I'm going to count my money. I'm going to sign my checks. I'm going to put something aside for me as I get older. I'm going to invest my things. I just don't think anybody can do a better job of taking care of me than me. And that's all the message that I try to get through to people, is to look at more than just what people are telling you should do. That's what they thought they should do. My mom has a PhD, and her idea of where she's at now is to become a greeter at Walmart. Well, you went to school to get a PhD to become a greeter at Walmart. You could have been homeless and got a job as a greeter at Walmart. Matter of fact, Walmart don't even have greeters anymore. They fired all of them. So people are offering you advice that they themselves don't even benefit from. I've lived my dream for 30 years. Have I made as much money as I probably would have made if I'd have remained a mechanic? No, but I was miserable as a mechanic. I hated it every single day. There's a saying that my worst day being my own boss is better than my greatest day of working for somebody. And that, like I said before, that's just me. If that's what you choose to do, that's great. Every boss, what they say, you either have a dream or you work for somebody to help build you're either building a dream or you work for somebody to help them build their dream. And that's the way it goes. So everybody needs workers. I just say, no matter what path you take in life, do your due diligence. Understand what the metrics are. 2 + 2 must add up to 4. And, we've got to learn that even if you work for someone, have your own thing on the side, because you just never know. And, our priorities with money is just out of control. The book Rich Dad Poor Dad says, rich people buy assets, poor people buy liabilities. So you see these rich people, they're buying art, they're buying real estate, they're buying stocks, they're buying bonds. We're buying Jordan shoes, we're buying 24-inch rims, we're buying big wattage stereos and houses that we can't afford, and high interest, 14-15% interest on cars and houses, whereas that finance company that's charging you all that interest is getting rich. And I guarantee you, they're the ones that's buying assets, while we're the one that's helping them fuel. We're not building our dream, we're building their dream, and their dream is to be financially secure, and we're helping them with that. People say, God blessed me with a new car. Well, first off, God didn't bless you with a new car because you're paying 12% on that car. He wouldn't do that. Secondly, it's not your car. If you're paying a note on a car or a house, it's not yours. Let's get that straight. If you are paying a note or a mortgage, it's not yours, okay? So please quit going around telling people, this is mine, I bought a new car. No, you didn't. You pay them every month to keep their car, and you know how you can make sure you can tell it's not yours? stop paying them, and see, don't they take it from you. So that's my thing, is that no matter what path you decide to walk, do your due diligence. Understand why you're doing it. Never do anything because the person ahead of you, well, I don't even care if it's your mom or your dad, are telling you, well, do it this way. Don't disagree, but do your due diligence. If that's the best path for you, you know, my mom wanted me to go to school. I hated school. I hated school since 8th grade, and that was my last grade I completed. So I could definitely not see sitting somewhere getting a PhD. But like I said, that's for me. Some people, they love school, and that's fine. Do what you love to do. But as I always say, aim high, dream big. Don't just settle for mediocre. That's the problem today, is everybody settling for a mediocre life. We're settling for mediocre because we were taught mediocre. We have to change the cycle. We have to be the ones that step up and say, hey, it's possible to own your own business. It's possible to learn to invest your money wisely. It's possible to buy assets instead of liabilities. It's possible to make better decisions and things that we can flourish in and things like that. Let's start utilizing that, and then we can actually say, hey, you know, these things are possible. We don't have to settle for mediocre because those above us or those older than us told us that we have to settle for mediocre. We're getting left behind in a lot of different places, and we look at rich people as if they got a gift. They don't have a gift. They just make better choices and decisions. And that's what we have to start doing, making better choices and better decisions and reaping the benefits of it. Don't become a instant gratification type person. Become a person that looks at your life for the long haul, and let's stop believing that companies are going to take care of us, because they don't. We need to take care of ourselves, and if we start doing that, things will get better in our lives for us. So until next week, this is your man, Sir-Earl, and I'm checking out. Peace.